Oh, wait. Yeah.
One. Nope. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3. One more.
Oh, all right. Hey,
We're here.
can you guys hear us okay? Everything
at
look
heart,
good?
We're romantics.
Yeah.
Let's see in the chat. Can everybody hear us?
Oh, let's
Can
see
everybody
here.
see us? Because without that, we ain't got much of a show.
We ain't got much.
Everything I say conversationally, Dylan's going to sing in this episode.
John hears the secrets.
Oh, that we keep? All right. Okay. So,
Okay.
So welcome back, everybody.
Scott
Thank you
hears
for-
our secrets. Greg hears them too.
I
All
see
right.
Mary Lee, Jim K, John Waby.
Welcome.
I'm seeing familiar faces. I love this. I love this. I love this. I hope you guys had a fantabulous summer. I had a very busy one, an unexpected busy one, and I'll talk about that maybe later in another episode. Were you traveling a lot? What was
I
your
was
deal?
traveling. I went to Scotland.
You went to Scotland?
Went to Scotland and
Did you take Rex?
Dublin. You know what? Here's something. The tolerance of Australian Shepherds in Scotland is very low.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's not as inclusive there for the Australian Shepherd.
because they're protective of the sheep.
I
Makes
thought it was the
sense.
Australian part. Yeah. It's definitely because of the sheep. And yet,
That's their job.
yeah, of course, Rex has been like, will there ever be sheep for years now? Will there ever be a single sheep?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
This cup of coffee right here.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, it was.
Because I just want to let you guys know, everything got derailed by that cup of Joe right there.
It's so good. It's so good. It's Pete's roast.
We were one
blend.
Kurg away from disaster at all points in time. Yeah.
It was like the last couple of minutes we were going, hey, let's get something to drink. I, of course, make myself a cup of coffee. I'm supposed to look at this camera. Sorry. We moved some things around.
You know, you can do.
And, I was just making myself some coffee. And then Dylan's here in the studio. And I just hear him yelling.
I can't hear any. I can't see any. Yeah, it was a nightmare.
We
you
just
guys.
lost power.
But you know what? We're so happy to be back here with you guys. We missed you. We missed you.
We
You
did.
know?
We miss, and I got to tell you, we have some new stuff coming up this fall that we're excited to announce, but we're going to be rolling out some new things over the next month or two. The first thing I want to mention, though, if you look at it, down in the description of the show, there is a link to a new email address. Now, if you want to subscribe to eventually it's going to be a newsletter
All right.
that we'll send, not tons, maybe 2 a week, at least 1 a week. And it's going to be just road stories, tales from the studio, stuff that we don't always get to cover maybe in an episode because we get really subject specific. So just kind of tales from the road sort of things, or tales from, Dylan teaches a lot in classrooms and there might be something interesting that came up there, things like this. And then eventually as we start, we're going to actually start offering things to you guys. It'll be in that newsletter. So by all means, just drop an email. You know what? Doesn't have to be, you create a new one if you want to. It doesn't matter. Just whatever email you would like to have to hear from us once or twice a week. That's the first thing to announce. Go ahead.
As I told everybody that's on our Patreon, we're going to send stories of hardship,
I got to send a story about getting a haircut.
perseverance.
Oh, yeah.
Like the little guitarist that could.
Yeah. We're not going to send reviews of the Donner Party. I think it's mostly just going to be guitar stuff.
I was thinking that movie Alive.
Uh-huh.
Like we might have to eat somebody's leg.
I'm watching something on Netflix. This is not a plug. It's just something that I started last night because my daughter made me watch it. It's a Netflix show called The Terror. And this
Just the terror. That's it.
Wow. But it's based on a particular naval expedition, British naval expedition. There were 2 ships, the Erebus and the Terror. They were searching for the Northwest Passage. And back in the 1840s, and it didn't go well.
Wow. Hey, how about that? It didn't go well.
It did not go well.
Who saw that? Who didn't see that coming?
Tell you what, I'm sitting outside. It's hot in LA as it should be. I'm sitting outside. At night it cools down. I build a fire. I'm watching this lovely, this kind of pretty creepy show, if you will, or hard show. And then I started like about 2 episodes in, and they're just surrounded by ice, right? Their ship gets stuck in the ice.
Yeah.
That's
the terror.
Poured myself a couple of fingers of bourbon just to warm up.
Yeah.
As if I was on the boat.
Yeah. And then you start rearranging deck chairs.
Thank you, Jim K. Coffee's always worth it. In fact, they named K cups after Jim.
They did. So I was thinking today we'd look at this song by the Romantics.
So Dylan mentioned this, like, you just heard this recently.
I did.
And it dawned, he's like, wow, that's really good.
No. We used to play it.
We used to play this song. So I never played this song on stage. However, once I thought about it, this song is a great example of a few things that we're going to point out. And I like this. Songs we hear all the time, and sometimes even musicians, we don't stop and think about, wait, what are the parts to this thing? What are the various pieces to this jigsaw puzzle, if you will? So the song by the
sometimes we don't even learn it correctly to begin with. Even
that's certainly my case.
So we didn't even have any of the pieces.
On this song, it was certainly my case. So 1983, they recorded it. It went to number 3. It was their biggest hit because it turns out What I Like About You reached 49 in the charts. It's just more ubiquitous than it was an actual. Oh, nice transition, buddy. Way to go. That was smooth. I've known you for years, and you still surprise me. So anyway, Talking in Your Sleep has a lot of different interlocking parts, but the first thing that comes to mind is the call and response nature of this song, of the bass riff with the chords.
The bass riff is where it's at.
Right. So Dylan's playing the bass riff. Watch how the chords respond to it. It fills in the gaps. Here we go. Keep going. Now, of course, the chords I'm playing there is D minor, G minor.
Flip them. Go to number 2.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, why am I out of? Hey man, why am I out of focus? How did I focus? Anyway, so it's D minor. Thank you, Dylan. G minor, and then C major. It's an A-shaped C, but when you watch him play, he just, why play that root note? Because the bass doing his own thing. So it's kind of very a John Lennon sort of part. In fact, that rhythm right there is from I Saw Her Standing There. Anyway, I digress. You got the. So the real, almost like horn stabs, da da da. But the way they interlock with the bass line, I think is interesting. Now the bass line and that chord response thing reminds me of. Now I'm not saying these guys even paid attention to it, or were inspired by it, or what have you. I just think it's a coincidence that is not a coincidence. There's another song from a few years before that has a very similar bass line chord relationship. The Romantics were from Detroit, if you will. But this next artist was from just north of the border in Ontario. So do you want to do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. James?
So are you thinking of...
Super Freak.
Oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. So this is the song that offended around the world and also made parties go insane.
Sure.
So...
Get it? Oh, he has to do the whole song once we start.
Right. That girl's all right.
Because it was his diploma in funk.
Yeah.
He has to finish off the whole phrase. This is gonna take a while.
Hey. It's just a long outro,
But you see how that
saxophone
kind of locks in
solo.
It was the camera that needed the coffee. That's a good point, Eric. Thank you. And so,
can we do a quick tangent on that? So that
sure,
song,
that's why we're here.
If you ever try to play this in time,
which one?
that girl's, it's not in time. It's spliced.
Is it a tape
It's spliced, yeah, and so you can't play it in. It's bizarre. It's really interesting. There's a spot where it's spliced, yeah.
I have to go back and listen to that.
Or we were wrong when we were kids and it wasn't time. We just didn't know what we were doing. But either way, it's
tricky.
That's
if you can play.
Yeah,
it's hard to play because it's a splice.
It's a splice. Yeah.
If it's not a splice, it's tricky because you can't play.
Exactly. So either way, there's a deficit. Is the point?
That's right. Exactly.
Can't touch this. So Eric's coming in hot today, right out of the gate.
There you go. So
can't touch this.
So there's that call and response thing going on with that bass line. It's in D minor. back to.
Oh, you want to go? Okay.
And then we get in the verse, and the first verse is just basically that bass line.
They do some layering, some
because
anti-layering.
the guitar, like, just play the bass. And then guitar doesn't play anything.
Heartbeat.
Now it does. Now we're gonna do. We did an episode on song form.
That's
once,
true.
Different parts of the song.
Yeah.
So this is what we would call the lift. This is a part that kind of sits between the verse and the chorus. Okay. So this is just something to kind of set up the chorus before it gets there. It's usually a shifting chord and melody. So now the bass is going to go to this straight 8 dung 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 feel.
And
right?
it's what easily tells you that a song, if you're confused about swing and shuffle versus straight, if you hear any kind of straight 8 notes happening somewhere in a song
with no accent.
Yeah.
So
Does it tell me that you love me? And you tell me that you need me.
for instance, so that is straight. That is straight 8. There's no accents. It's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But there's something called a straight shuffle we was discussed.
Which is hip. Yeah.
Which is like the old Al Green tunes, or Tempted by Squeeze as a straight shuffle, or what's that great Ronnie Millsap? No getting over me.
So it's dominantly straight, right? But there's just a small, and it's really common, by the way. There's
Very,
just a
very
small
common.
amount of shuffle, though, on the decay of the notes.
Right.
And so the drums could end up being totally straight. So the drums might be completely straight with no indication of shuffle whatsoever. But the artist, the guitarist, might be playing with
On
some
2
shuffle.
and 4
Yeah.
of all the 8 notes I'm playing per measure, on beats 2 and 4, I'm laying heavy.
Yeah. Attempted is a great example. Oh, you already said that, huh? Yeah. That's what even what you're playing on top of that. So it's perfect.
So, but the Romantics are playing straight 8s. It's a real rock, dun 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 dun. It's got that real nice pulse, right? A very, very consistent pulse.
Yeah.
So now a guitar introduces this really cool voicing in this part. So we get this, you tell me that you love me. So we're right there, right?
2, 3.
You tell me that you love me. It goes to C. Tell me that you need me. Let's talk about this. Let's look at this. So here's what the guy's playing. It's 7th fret G, 6th fret B, and 8th fret high E. So you can
Beautiful.
Now, of course, this is just a triad of some sort, but depending on what chord we're playing, who knows what to name it? Because the first chord is a D minor, correct? So this is basically
It's
a D
literally
minor
just a D
7.
minor
I've got
7.
root, minor 3rd, dominant 7. But now Dylan's going to play a C major chord, and this doesn't move.
Yeah, so then it turns into the 2nd, the 4th, and the root.
Now, but notice, these notes are still diatonic to the key of D minor, and this is going to be really important. That's why this triad is really not going to move much, but still going to somehow match the chords that are going in the song. The next chord is what, G minor?
So over that, you've got 5th, 7th, and
11th?
4th. 11th.
Sorry. Now he's going to play a B flat. So now
So
this
this is
B
easy.
flat,
That's the
add
3rd,
2,
the 5th, and the 2nd.
and then he's going to go to C major, and this whole thing's going to move up.
Yeah, because if they hadn't moved
C
up,
add 2.
remember when they went to C last time, they had already played that. So for a lift, they had to move up. Yeah,
It's lifted because it's pushing up towards D minor.
it literally lifted.
It pushes up.
Yeah.
So I think that's wicked hip. Now, by the way, there's
It
another
is.
song from about a year or two prior to that, and maybe some of you are hearing that voicing and saying, "What is that?" There's something else. So you take the lead this time. I'll play the rhythm on.
Oh, okay. All right, so you can't know ahead of time. So this could be anything.
it's
This
just-
could be Raffi. It could be.
There's a reason why I whispered it, and then you just say Raffi.
Now,
working
here we go.
with-
Boo Bugaloo on 3.
So,
1, 2, 3.
4. other shape.
Oh, sorry. That's where you want it.
Do it again.
Oh, you're going to have to focus that.
Oh, never mind.
Forget it. Next time.
He's an out of focus person. So, yeah, so Stop Dragging My Heart Around uses that same shape. This. And what this is in that case is kind of spelling out an E minor 7. Right? It's an E minor chord, but then the dominant 7 is played way up high here, and so you're just playing the top 3 strings of that.
Oh, sorry.
You're right there, Dylan.
It's all part of the game.
Yeah, it's all part of the game.
Yeah.
So Super Freak, Stop Dragging My Heart Around. There's just I don't know if they're conscious of these, kind of these borrows or these steals, but it's all fair game. It all works out.
Yeah, I forgot Tom Petty.
We don't really think.
We can't believe we lost Tom Petty.
When we hear "Talking in Your Sleep" by the Romantics, do we think about Super Freak by the late great Rick James or Stop Dragging My Heart Around by the late great Tom Petty and Stevie Nicks and the Heartbreakers?
I think this always makes me think of Stop Dragging My Heart Around. It just does eternally.
It's such an evocative voicing to put in there. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's the way it's placed in the mix, right? So it's so. This is basically a quartet at that point in the song.
Good point.
And it's so front in the mix, and that there's no singing.
Right.
You've got.
Still no one singing. Still all that space. All that space.
And then
okay.
And so I mean it's just they wanted to make sure you heard that.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had room on the records back then because they weren't in such a hurry. But yes,
what changed?
Clearly one of the great songwriters ever. Well, things change. That happens in music. It happens in fashion. It happens in
now
movies.
you need like goats and didgeridoos to keep your attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some true crime.
I hear them all the time.
Yeah.
Mary Lee says that sounds so cool, but I don't know what she's referring to. Maybe it's just that voicing, Mary Lee.
Oh, she's talking about the voicing. Yeah.
So anyway, so if you're at home, if you're writing a song, if you're working on something, kind of take a look at a voicing such as that, where if you'll say you're sitting on a C major chord, and
beautiful,
see if well, thank you. See if there's that would be for my C major chord, but I'm just putting the second note on top.
Yeah.
Or maybe I find it here with a major 7, 2.
Oh, you can go all over the place. Yeah. So
I don't even know what that is. That's not the shape I was playing.
these are all drop 2 voicings, basically. We'll talk
does that
about
mean?
that in another episode.
Oh, okay.
It's too much to unpack right now.
By the way, Mary Lee has a question. She didn't ask it in the chat, but she asked it of
Go ahead, Mary Lee.
earlier. Well, she has a couple of these Mustang GTXs, like
Mustang GTXs,
like the ones through which we are playing, and one of hers just sort of it just sort of stops. It just craps out. It just stops, and she's done updates.
Mary Lee, does it putter, or is it like the 80s computers that used to, or does it just completely stop?
We'll see. I don't remember now. I think for a while though, she even went out and bought a whole new set of guitar cables because she
Thinking
thought
it was the cable.
so it sounds like it would be glitchy, like, and then
Interesting.
Dylan does have lots of theory depth. You do.
You know, a depth to where? You know what I mean? Where does it go?
Well, we share it with our fellow 6-stringers out there and 4-stringers. Our bass players appreciate this sort of stuff. That's what's cool about Talking in Your Sleep is that to play the guitar part or to play one of the guitar lines is to play the bass line. The guitar doubles the bass. She says it just completely stops.
So, my guess would be that first of all, the last thing to check is try another IEC cable. So grab the one from your printer, flip them up, and switch them out. But after that, I would file a warranty.
Oh, that's a class action lawsuit.
Oh yeah, you do class action. Sure, why not? What the hey? It's 2024. May as well start there and work your way down to a warranty claim. The key is to find somebody to scream at. You know what I mean?
I don't think it's the input jack because it completely powers out. So it's not the
no.
This
This is like a
and I think
power
soak issue. I think she
yeah.
just turns it off. She turns it back on, and sometimes it comes back on.
Yeah, are we ruling out metaphysical possibilities right away? Have you seen the movie Warlock by any chance?
Okay.
Well, if it's an omen, I'd like to know. if I'm Marilee.
It's not an omen.
It's probably a good omen, though.
It could
hey, it's time to send this for a warranty repair.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Or else. Good omens before bad omens. She says it's over a year old. Oh, the warranty. It might be out of warranty.
You know what? Hit him anyways.
Marilee,
I think they'll do it.
You're a longtime Fender person. You're in the Facebook community still. Give them a chance to make it right.
Here's the thing I want to tell everybody. Fender's a lot cooler than somebody might think.
Oh, yeah.
For being a big company, you know. But they're not, it's like they're, you know, we're talking about SpaceX here. But SpaceX, I feel like it's a big thing.
That's probably a big thing. How many people do you think it takes to get to the moon?
Oh, like a birthday party
like really
sized.
smart people. You know, like SpaceX, they have really smart people.
40?
Okay.
45?
That's not bad. It's mostly math.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't go into the light, Marilee. Jim's right.
Well, don't do that. No.
So back to the room.
Yeah.
It only happens.
Bring us your questions, though. Today's a little bit of an AMA, too, so you know.
That's true. We're just getting ourselves... She says Pateron, but she meant her partner, her jam partner.
Oh.
He plugs into it and...
Wait. So you're saying this only happens...
It's the he's
when
possessed.
Another person uses your amplifier? Marilee, can you confirm that? Because this is a Matlock moment. This is when Conrad went out and he went to the house and he looked around. It's from the show Matlock.
I know it's a show, but I
yeah. So this could be a Columbo minute or whatever you want.
Columbo's. Okay, now
or
much more time.
But the main thing is, I think I might have an idea of what's going on here. Yeah.
Jim's neighbor was the lead engineer on the Lunar Lander project. What did
Jim? Jeez, where do you live?
Ask your neighbor how to fix this for Marilee. Wait, I think I'm crossing references. I don't think.
I bet your neighbor's going to say send it off for a warranty repair.
Most likely. Okay, so back to the romantics. What else do we have to say about this?
Well, no, hold on. So do a little bit of this with me because I want them to hear this thing coalesce. Yeah.
We haven't. I knew there was another part.
So let's start at the verse. First verse. Okay. We don't have to do the whole thing though. You know, so 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3.
I don't know the words.
Sleep.
Lift. And you tell me that you tell me that you love me.
I hear the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. I hear the secrets that you keep when you're talking.